The Lucid Gravity has debuted here in the European market. We're over here checking out all of the European cars, but we're taking this special opportunity to be here at the Lucid studio in Munich, and we're going to talk to some of the designers and engineers that are behind this marvelous machine. I'm Patrick, lives behind the camera. We're the electric duo. Let's go. We're standing in front of the Lucid Gravity, and of course, one of the most famous features here is this Frunk. And not only is it just like a place where you can store your groceries, we actually have a seat up here. I know you've probably seen this already, but have you seen it with Derek? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name's Derek Jenkins. I'm the Senior Vice President of Design and Brand here at Lucid.
Yeah, and this is so much part of the brand.
It really is, yeah. I mean,
and not just that it is a seat, but it's sort of like that's sort of part of Lucid is like maximizing space and being innovative and coming up with something that people haven't really thought.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're always looking for opportunities for really thoughtful features and experiences, you know, so this is like a prime example that everybody is excited about.
Yeah, and I was trying to fold this in earlier and just flop it, but it actually...
Yeah, you have these little hooks, and then this just tucks right in.
Yep.
And it's also retains like cargo. So I use this all the time when I go to the grocery store. I'll just kind of bring my bags in here, and it kind of keeps it retained, keeps it organized.
Yeah.
You know, so it works for that as well.
It's that little bit of extra thinking of, we not only do we have a seat, but we have a place to put the groceries. And then when I open the Frunk, it's not like falling out.
Exactly.
I love
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. So it's a fun feature. It also, this is an accessory, so this is removable, and then you can just use it as a normal Frunk, but it's very spacious Frunk. So it's a big part of the design, and we had to do a lot of tuning to the design to even make this possible. So it's been a while in the making.
Well, I know, like on the Air, the way you guys designed the Frunk was something that was very special. It's like a clamshell. And
that's right.
Again, it's sort of like how to maximize features and functionality and taking advantage of the fact that it's an EV as well.
And that's really the core point is like, at Lucid, we're always looking for ways to like delight the customer in a new way and take advantage of our technologies, you know? So we have really compact components, and it allows us to create space where in an internal combustion vehicle that would just be impossible, literally impossible. And so it's about getting people to desire an EV more than a traditional car.
Yeah, and I think that's hopefully the phase that we're entering in with EVs is like people are starting to see them as like there's advantages, not only besides the efficiency, the range and all that, but it's like now you have bigger space.
And I think it's about not... you know, we don't expect people to just buy a vehicle because it's electric. We want them to buy it because it's a better vehicle to start with, you know, and that's what we're really after with Lucid. Yeah.
Now, so design, let's sort of make our way around to the side, because I think this is a beautiful vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and we'll hit that button there. There we go. It is a large vehicle,
yes,
but not super large.
You know, it fits comfortably in the large SUV category, but it's not excessively large on the outside, but it packs a lot of space on the inside.
But it's also a gorgeous design here. So it's sort of like, yes, we're talking about like a big SUV, but like just this, well, now that the rear has been opened up, I was going to say the boot, because we're in Europe. Yeah. But it actually flows very nicely and just looks very elegant.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, when we set out to design the vehicle, we knew two core things are really critical, especially for a vehicle this size, is the interior volume and the aerodynamics. So we set up this cabin first to get a really sleek profile to the vehicle, lots of taper to the back of the car because that looks good, and it's very aerodynamically efficient, but still keeping a lot of space for the third row.
Right.
So you're balancing space, aerodynamics, and aesthetics. Those three are always something that, as a designer, you're trying to keep in check.
Yeah. Talking briefly about like the motor and the powertrain is very small. The battery pack is relatively small. So it's a tall vehicle, but you've
That's right.
maximized that space.
Yeah, and that's one of the advantages we have. A very compact, shallow battery pack. That's not a giant pack, but enough for us to get our 450 miles range.
Yeah.
And we store that so low in the vehicle, still have a lot of vertical volume, both in the seating areas, but also when the seats fold, the vertical volume in the cargo area is remarkable. And that's all a result of our compact drivetrain and our compact battery pack, and packaging those in a way that is really advantageous for the space of the vehicle.
And I'm going to have to just make a note here of the color.
Yes,
you guys
Aurora green.
You don't have like these flashy like lime green colors, but these colors look very nice. It's not just gray.
No.
Like some
In it. It's a very unique kind of olive green gray metallic.
Yeah.
And the sunlight has a really kind of rich quality to it. So it's definitely a green, but not like a neon. It's not screaming.
Right.
You know, I mean, we want to do something that's sophisticated and really works in this class of vehicle. And so we've done that with multiple colors in the range. We have a new one coming out called Supernova Bronze. That should be out on the road before the end of the year. Super sophisticated kind of bronze color. A similar effect that this has.
Right. Yeah. And there's a lot of intention overall, like making sure that like this color on the exterior goes with all of the interior colors.
Yeah,
as well.
we have to harmonize our 6 exterior colors with our 4 interior colors. So, you know, there's always an important, you know, we want people to be able to order it in any configuration. I'm happy to say that they all look really, really good together, you know. So
yeah.
It's part of the design challenges for sure.
Now, we're going to throw another one in with Liv following us around, but first of all, now that it is closed, you can see like this rear design. I mean, I think it's just sort of like I know it's aero to it, but it's like it comes together really well.
Yeah.
And looks elegant.
Yeah, this back area is really where the aerodynamics come into play. So you're always trying to, again, balance this aesthetic quality with the aerodynamic treatments. This whole diffuser area here, the flow comes across and then separates. We extended this really far back. You can see how deep that goes. Even this lip here, all impacts the aerodynamics of the car. And then you come down the side. All of these treatments are there specifically to manage airflow. And to give you some perspective, typically a SUV of this size would be in the 0.30, maybe it would get down to 0.28. And I know those numbers don't mean much to most people, but you know, we've cut that all the way down to 0.24 drag coefficient.
Amazing.
Which is a class leading, I think, for any SUV, let alone a 7-passenger SUV with meaningful headroom and space and storage. It's quite an achievement, and that's where the design can really contribute to our range capability.
Right.
You know, because if the car is more aerodynamic, it takes less sustained energy to push it through the air. It's as simple as that, you know?
Yeah, every little bit of aero adds to the range.
It really does.
By miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just always this challenge because it falls on me and my team to make sure that we're achieving our aesthetic goals so that the product's visually desirable and at the same time is efficient so we can achieve that range capability.
Yeah, and we don't need to mention others, but it's not just a bubble.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, we work hard to keep the car sleek, yet crisp and sophisticated, you know, sporty, and all of the things that you want the design of the vehicle to communicate to customers, you know.
Now, if we can, I don't know where the button's at. Let's take a look at this because, you know, going back to the functionality that the Frunk had, it extends back here. Oh, great. Yeah, like we have.
Yeah, you see the split here. It's quite amazing that the third row seats, they're split in the middle here, so you can divide up the space any way you like. But then those flip over and store in the back, which is great. Even this kind of configuration I use all the time where I'll leave one side down. Oftentimes I'll throw stuff here. And then if I have larger items, I just use this. And then when the second row is fully aligned, you still end up with 6-passenger capability.
Yeah.
You know, so you have so much flexibility. I go surfing on the weekends. and I'll just split the second row, lay this side down, and you can fit an 8'5" surfboard straight in.
8'5"
Yeah,
surfboard.
more than one
Amazing.
if you want. So it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and I really like this, that like if you have both of those seats, all of a sudden now you have a ton of storage.
That's
back
right,
here.
yeah.
So it's sort of like just a lot of versatility, and of course, like a little bit of extra storage,
micro storage, and
yeah,
and that's in addition to the Frunk, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I really like about having a Frunk and something like this is like, yeah, sure, we'll just say a criminal might know to look up under there, but it's hidden and it's out of the way.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and then we also sell an accessory tonneau cover roll out.
Right.
So even when this is down, you can still hide away,
Yeah, that's
whatever's
very cool.
back there. When all the seats are down, this is also like the ultimate camping vehicle, right? Because then you put an air mattress back here, sleep. We have a camp mode, so you can turn that on, control climate, lighting and media from the back. So it's a really good feature.
And I know this was sort of intentional as well, having fairly low entryway into the cargo area, but it's also flat. It doesn't like go and then drop down.
Yeah, just in case people are loading large items, it's a super smooth, this is designed to protect, obviously, but just trying to make it as convenient as possible and surprise people. It's incredible. When designing this, we did a lot of research and we realized, like, man, there's a lot of these really large, bulky SUVs on the road that have very little actual usable space and utility. And it's like, if you're going to haul around all of this mass, you might as well make sure that it's got spaciousness. And so always trying to get this agility, dynamicism, efficiency into a vehicle where you don't compromise interior space. Because, I mean, that's what people really, I feel like, especially when you have families and you have a lot of stuff and you're going places, you need to have that flexibility and utility.
And continuing with that, like having this big open clamshell again, means like you don't have this like giant space inside, but you have this like narrow opening.
Right.
Because that's one of the things that bugs me is like some of these SUVs, it's like there's a ton of space, but I can't fit anything through. Yeah. Very, very, very.
And
cool.
it's the same thing from the sides. If you notice the side, I'm sure Eric pointed this out, the side doors open 90 degrees.
Oh, no, he did not, but I remember that.
So when those seats are down, you can load stuff, simple things like putting in the child seat.
Yeah.
Like is so easy because you have all this room to just come in and do it. When these are down, again, like I've loaded stuff in this way because it's so easy to access because the doors are at 90 degrees. It's these kind of like thoughtful treatments where we just go through and say, how do we make people's lives easier?
Yeah.
How do we make using the car easier?
I've even done things like loading a bicycle, like a road bike.
Yep.
You take it off and it's like you have to go in through there and like somebody's like leaning in here.
Exactly.
But like you could literally just put the road bike in here.
That's right.
Because of the opening is so big. And, we're talking about cargo, but like even as a passenger, because like one of the things that's like, I thought about as my mom got old and with arthritis was like her entry and exit out of vehicles became extremely difficult. And I know it doesn't seem like it would, like, okay, yeah, everybody can get in the car, but like for her, this would be so much easier for her to be able to get in and swing her legs in, because like we have people that join us in our SUVs that we review and they can't get their leg in because it's like, it looks like this big opening, but with the door, I'm just ranting now.
No, but it's a very good point. And we really try to overcome those obstacles because it's, like I said before, it's surprising how even with these larger vehicles, you don't have that flexibility, ease of access to the cabin or to the cargo areas,
Yeah. Well, I think it's an excellent design with extreme amount of flexible, usable space. Kudos to the whole team for coming up with something that looks elegant, very functional, and I think the excitement here in Europe is going to be just as much as in the U.S.
I hope so. The roads are a little more compact over here, so I think having something with large space and a compact, usable footprint could work really, really well here. So I really appreciate you taking the time to allow us to kind of explain all of this stuff, because it's a big part of of the Lucid experience.
Yeah, you find that part difficult because like a lot of times people will just do that initial glance and they go like,
Yeah.
another SUV. But like, how does Lucid get around just like going and telling that story?
Yeah, a lot of this, being able to kind of tell that story. We're trying to do it in our content, show people using the car, show, people,
The surfboard.
Exactly. Surfboards, bikes, families, dogs, kids. I think showing that, because sometimes the look of the car is deceiving. Like you wouldn't expect it to be so versatile and have such capacity. And so we find that we have to either talk about it like we're doing right now, or just simply show people.
Right.
Because I think that's something that, again, would affect people's daily user experience. And life is busy, man. This would probably be for many folks their primary household vehicle, the workhorse that has to do everything really, really well, And I think Gravity is exactly that type of vehicle.
Yeah, very versatile. And then of course, we talked about with Eric the range and the power behind it. So it's also could be your performance fun vehicle, but the range is extraordinary. The charging is extraordinary. So
yeah, it really is. When we say compromise nothing, like we're not kidding.
Yeah, I like that. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Very much appreciate the tour of the outside and some of these extra additional features that just make it special.
Awesome, my pleasure.
All right, thank you much. Welcome to the inside of the Gravity, but this is a special experience because we have Eric Bach, Senior Vice President of Design Engineering, right?
It's Senior Vice President of Product and the Chief Engineer for Lucid.
Oh, wow. We are very lucky to have you here. And I think it's because Lucid is so known for the engineering that's gone into not only the powertrain, but like everything about this vehicle. So first of all, introduce yourself a little bit more, better than I did, and then we'll dive into all of this.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for coming over to Lucid, our store here in Munich. At the lovely IAA, it's really great to see the buzz around electrification that's going on in Europe. And we're very, very proud to have just launched the Lucid Gravity for Europe. And we're taking orders for this magnificent technical tour de force again. As you just mentioned, what we're trying to do at Lucid is build the best product. And we don't want to compromise anything, so we say we compromise nothing. What does that actually mean? In terms of technology, of course, every day we make our trade-offs, but the customer shouldn't feel a compromise. That's how I interpret our mission statement here. Now, what is this product about? This is a 7-seater SUV. It's a super sports SUV, technically. Very high performing, extremely spacious for a manageable footprint, even in Europe. We are shorter by about an inch than several of our competitors, basically the shortest representative in the German market for a 3-row SUV, despite having way more interior space. So if you think about luggage volume, we get up to 3,998 liters of volume behind the second row into the Lucid Gravity, which is absolutely world-class, more than anybody. The leg room in all 3 rows, if you sit in the front row, a 6'2", second row and third row, you will be comfortably sitting in all 3 rows, unlike in any of the competitors. If you want to get anywhere close, you'd have to go to a full-size SUV, like an Escalade or something like that.
Right.
That is, again, 20 inches longer than the Lucid Gravity, just to put things into reference. And then, of course, technology means we're taking care of all the attributes on a vehicle, aero efficiency with a world-class drag coefficient of 0.24 on the Lucid Gravity, despite being such a bold SUV, as well as then the powertrain performance, where we get 839 PS, and essentially acceleration in 3.6 seconds, 0 to 100, which makes the family giggle when you try that out.
That's your family entertainment. It's just accelerating.
That's part of the entertainment. Actually, that leads me to the electronics platform that we're launching in the Lucid Gravity also. It's a complete new infotainment architecture with a 6K OLED screen, 34 inches wide. It's custom shaped, right? We don't do just simple prismatic because that's not very luxurious, not really cool. So you can see how we taper the screens around. It's beautifully designed, floating screen optic. Also here in the center, we've got an OLED, and then we've got a rear LCD display for the back. And all three are powered by an Qualcomm Snapdragon 8295, which is like the reference in infotainment chip technology to date. And the ADAS technology platform that we're putting into this vehicle is a twin Orin X ADAS computer, which is also benchmark today in the industry. So we've put a lot of effort into a scalable electronics architecture that we can enrich the customer experience via over-the-air updates as we move through our development phases.
And a lot of that, you're talking about like the luxury feel because like the screens are rounded, but even like the steering wheel, the squircle, a lot of times we're like peering through the steering wheel, but you have it designed so that I can literally see above the steering wheel and have a complete screen here.
Right. So if you adjust it to where you would normally hold it, we've tried to massage the squircle, as you said, down just a little bit to give you still great control. And also on a track or in everyday driving, you don't lose control when you go around the corner, like with a yoke, for instance. That's tricky there. So we've tuned that squircle to just give you full freedom of sight onto this beautiful OLED screen.
Yeah, it's like I can see the complete screen, and it doesn't interfere at all with the steering wheel. So, yeah, I think those are like some of the key design elements, and I think that it's something that Lucid is known for, having those little extra touches. And we're even talking about, you know, I can't help but look up and see like this glass that goes literally from the hood all the way back above my head. Because a lot of times you see like a lot of the premiums, a lot of the EVs, they'll have a glass roof, but literally what we see is the big giant pillar going across. But here we have a lot of room. Of course, we have the sun visors down, but
right. Yeah, if you can see when you move the sun visors to the side, it's a single piece glass pane. It's a dual pane window with a high infrared reflectance coating, as well as a PVB layer, like a plastic layer in between, which makes it shock resistant as well as noise insulated. So we get an extreme good aeroflow over this piece of glass. We don't have a header interruption, as you mentioned. It gives you more headroom as an occupant, perceived spaciousness. That's why we did that on Air and Gravity. And it also goes beyond the B pillar then. The rear glass is also a single pane, massive, to give you a huge amount of headroom, as well as this open airy feel. It's a real space enabler and psychological benefit to your perception of the space you're in. In terms of design, you can also see how beautiful the interior design team has made the lines flow around you, so you feel encapsulated, but it's very wide, so you don't feel crunched in. So encapsulated and safe whilst still having a lot of space. All luxury materials. This is Napa top grain leather, the best of the best Napa leather in our optional package this year. Is the console cover is real glass, actually. It's not plastic. This is real glass with a special edge, as you can see, to keep privacy. It's lit underneath that you can see things inside, but we keep the privacy so that you don't get people trying to figure out whether there are valuables inside.
Right.
And talking about valuables, this is the only SUV right now that really, or one of the very few SUVs that can actually give you safe storage space through the Frunk. The Frunk is a completely closed, safe storage space, because normally you put your stuff in the trunk. And then people can smash the windows and take it out. Here you've got a safe storage space for stuff left behind.
Plus some seating up there for
Plus some premium seating, right? When you go to the open air cinema or just drive to the Grand Canyon or here to the Alps and you hop in, have your mulled wine or your coffee and just enjoy the scenery.
And that's part of the other thing that Lucid is great at, is like taking advantage of that type of space and making it functional. I mean, it could have just been, we're going to just put a big giant area where you can drop stuff in, but it's like we're going to make it so that you can open it up and have seats. And that goes back to, as well, as like some of the engineering marvels with Lucid is like taking advantage of very small motors so that you have more space inside, moving the wheels out so that you have more space inside. So
yeah, absolutely. That's good that you mentioned that. So a foundation of our ability to package these vehicles to a level that no other competitor has ever managed to is the miniaturization of the powertrain that you are just mentioning. So our, not just the motor, but the entire drive unit, or e-axle as others call it, is the smallest in the industry, with ultra high power potential, 500 kilowatts, into a carry-on suitcase size of a drive unit for a power inverter, full transmission, differential, and electric motor. That is absolute world class, and about 74 kilograms. So the smaller, the lighter, the less materials we need. It's super efficient with a compact design. And now we can place it places where others need to take more space, which gives us flexibility on the frunk. As you mentioned, the bite condition that we've created essentially is the one that enables this easy sit-in. It was really important to us to make it a super functional space, not just a bin as others have done. And then also they're pushing the limits of how large can you make that. I mean, you see other competitors, they either have a very, very small or not even any front trunk. And we think it's a vital customer feature, because if you're on the road with a full family, I've got 4 kids, if you're traveling with 6 or 7 people in here, where does the luggage go? Behind the third row is very compromised on all our competitors. Now we've got a much deeper well down there, but still it may not be quite enough to travel with a full family of 6 or 7. There's where the frunk actually shines. Now you've got this extra space. Now you're going skiing, maybe the skis are on the roof, in the roof rack, but you don't have to put luggage in there to just go skiing. We can put it in a frunk and into a much larger trunk. Now this thing becomes really usable for a high occupancy vehicle.
That's really cool. And, you know, we're from America. We've seen everybody's very excited about the Gravity in America. Do you think the reception here is going to be just as positive and just as excited?
Well, we'll see, but I'm very hopeful. You may know that I grew up in Bavaria, actually. I'm very excited that we put this vehicle out here now. It's got a lot of European DNA, right? So we are shorter than the European incumbents in the 3-row space. That was intentionally done to fit into the landscape here, be even more appealing to a downsize mindset here. In America, if you want big, you just go big.
Right.
Here, the 3-row SUVs are really perceived to be massive, so we wanted to stay below everybody else. And then other DNA are the beautiful design, exterior sleekness, interior beauty of materials. That is, I think, something that will resonate with the European customers a lot. Plus then the extra storage space, Autobahn capability built in, really near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
It's a feature and a feeling, and it really transports this product into the consideration space like no other, I think.
Yeah, it's really, I think, a great package no matter where you're at. So it's exciting to see that it's over here in Europe. We got to test one out a couple of weeks ago in San Francisco. So it's like, I love seeing Lucid expand to more markets, and best of luck.
Yeah, as you can see, onto our extreme new and performant hardware architecture with the 6K OLEDs, big OLED screen, as well as the Snapdragon 8295 processor. We've re-architectured and redrawn our infotainment system. So you can see all the main controls down here. Now you get way more than you're used to from the Air. the vehicle controls with region braking setting or ride height adjust, then quick access for steering wheel and mirror adjustments. Our drive modes known from Air, right? Smooth, very comfortable and plush ride. Swift, a little bit more agile around mountain roads. Or Sprint if you really want to have a fun experience or would go to the racetrack. And our HVAC settings, obviously we've got ventilated heated seats. The nice thing about the seats, you can choose to only cool the cushion portion on the bottom, and then you can switch off the back. Let's say you're coming from a run and your back is sweating heavily, then you may not want to cool it too much because you can actually chill your muscles and then get into cramp space and really painful places. So that's how I came up with, I want it to be separatable so that you can actually choose where you want the ventilation to happen. It's the same on the heating. You can also heat either the back or the cushion separately. So that's a nice...
Someone turned that one off.
Oh yeah, sorry. I switched that one.
The ventilated feels
great. Yeah, that's
great.
good, right? I love that too. And then of course, we've got a heated steering wheel. That's really nice. Munich experiences cold winters. Then we've got also settings for creature comfort. So you can enable the HVAC to stay on whilst your animal or family members are still in the car and you're just hopping out to buy something. So it's very convenient to keep the cabin temperature at a certain level. Then you can also have advanced settings where the vehicle automatically preheats or pre-chills the cabin upon your departure. You can also use the app to set a temperature and precondition the car so it's never going to be too hot or too cold. It's really convenient, and it comes standard, obviously, not like an ICE engine car. If you want a heating, or here we call it Standheizung, right? A stationary heating system, you have to pay that extra, and it comes with a hassle. It's all in already, just from the get-go. Then you can remote control the seats, right? From here, from the screen, you can move this seat so you don't have to reach over and so on. So it's all thought about, how can we make it as convenient as possible? Then we've got our massage system, right? With 2 different massage variants.
We did this during the interview.
Isn't it? Oh, we should have started with that. You're right? So deep, right? We've got a pressure massage on the back and on the cushion, as well as then we've got a vibration massage system. So we've got bimodal massage. That's pretty cutting edge. We have that on Air too. Very few others even have ever had that. I like on this stretch and the unwind, for instance, this vibration massage. It essentially vibrates laterally on the upper skin tissue, and therefore it transports lactic acids and so on from workouts out of your muscle tissue very effectively. You find that in sports massages. And it's very different than the traditional kneading massage, which we also can offer. So it's just, how can we make something that's better than what's out there and put that detail into a fabulous environment? Of course, you've got a great charging display. Here you can look at how much do I want to charge the car up. You can essentially go to a daily driving range or go to 100% driving range when you go on that road trip. Obviously, going to a slightly less charged battery pack all the time conserves battery life a little bit better. However, we always test at 100% charging, multiple charge cycles for durability and warranty reasons. So it's good to go at 100%, but if you want to be a little bit nicer to the battery, tone it down. You can precondition and preheat the battery when you approach the fast charging. We can do the same via nav. When you go to a remote destination, it'll point out where you need to charge, and it will precondition automatically so that you get the fastest charging experience with a slightly elevated battery temperature. At home, you can choose your charging current for AC charging, so you can reduce the charging power if you're interested. Put less stress on your home, for instance. Then we've got different display settings where you can experience how far can you go with the range you have, or you can look at how have you been driving, like a little bit of a user guide, and it'll show you the actual range under dynamic versus the rated range, right? So you can set it while we're driving it, it doesn't show you, but we can show you what you're using the power for, right? And when driving, you can put the dynamic range in, which adapts to the way you are driving this moment, because you will not drive according to the WLTP, I think.
No, I
right?
did not.
So it's
especially when you have this
artificial
power.
driving range, driving pattern. So then, of course, we've got a map and nav system. Like you can just quickly zoom in and search for your locations, add charging, multi-point routes, etc. Then we've got an amazing sound system, actually. It's really amazing, especially when you get good input files, whether it's Spotify or Tidal, right? If you get Dolby Atmos sound files, you can actually play them with an ultra high quality. We've disabled that for the studio, otherwise nobody would leave the car ever. It's such a high fidelity sound stage in here. I was shocked. I felt in the middle of the concert stage when we got the latest update. So please check that out. It's really worthwhile. It's absolutely amazing. I've never heard such a good audio quality in a car, despite what others are saying. So then obviously you've got your telephone connection, and then we've got our Sanctuary framework, where we have apps for meditation and different themes that give you relaxation modes, where you can see the beach and you see the sound or hear the sound, and you see the imagery, and you can just relax and take a moment. And then of course there's going to be additional apps and app capabilities that we're adding over the air. Full surround parking feature, bird's eye view, as also on the air. You can look around the vehicle, look at the curb, at the corner of the car that you are not aware of right now, and make sure you don't scratch those beautiful wheels.
Or in this case, somebody's foot.
Or somebody's foot, right? If we were to do it here, and you get the same in the front, you've got a forward and rearward facing camera. You can zoom in a little bit or look at different views. That's here. And here you've got these tiles that you can customize, and you've got different quick buttons, of course, to your nav, music, phone, and then your past playlist, and you can flip through quickly and say, oh, the one I listened to yesterday, I need that, I need to energize, whatever. So it's really intuitive and quick access. And then of course you've got the full size features and apps right there. Up here we've got the driver profile, so you can have your entire family memorized. Where's the steering wheel, where the mirrors, what is the music, and the drive profiles and things, they go with the memory. We've got a facial recognition in our occupant monitoring system. Up here. We've got two occupant monitoring systems, one on the steering wheel and one up here. So then you've got redundancy of coverage that's already prepared for higher levels of autonomy. And what else is in here? Right, you've got your connectivity, home link, and then you can hook up to your home Wi-Fi, etc. And then we've got the Hey Lucid Assistant. I'm not sure this one is working right now. Here, it's the voice activation. Maybe we stopped it so that it doesn't. Yeah. Right. So it's deactivated right now, but it's really natural language assistant. It's really great. Helps you navigate, helps you do some of the controls features, and we're going to add more of the capabilities to control stuff around the car just by natural voice. It's really cool, powerful platform and tool. And then of course you've got the full settings where you can choose what you want the vehicle to tell you and not to tell you, and how you want it to drive, right? Stability control, stopping modes, creep. Some people still like the creepy mode.
Yeah. She likes the creepy mode back there.
Oh, sorry. Didn't want to say it's creepy, but you've got all kinds of menus at your disposal here. Our advanced driving assistance system, Dream Drive, right? The drive assist for highway cruising. Then you can set your ACC or your highway assist speed over speed limit, or adapt to the signage precisely. So we should do that to 0. Then we are first-class citizens, etc. Right? You can go through. There's many options that you can set. I really like our blind spot cameras. Sorry, there's the other one.
This one here.
Right. that should show the blind spot
maybe
display.
we're in park.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it's because, if we were to go in drive, you can see the blind spot actually pop up here as a camera display, and it's really helpful. I really love that feature. I miss it on every other car that doesn't have it. When you set the indicator, you see the blind spot, and of course you've got a blind spot warning, but the camera display gives you so much confidence.
Yeah.
And I don't want to miss it anymore. It's become part of my driving life.
The cars that I've seen that have it, it's really nice. Especially like in the city where you're like, you may be trying to cut something close and you can see the curb exactly where
bicycles,
the curb is at.
pedestrians in the dead zone. It's super convenient. It's really a safety feature for me. Of course, you've got your connectivity, general display layouts, languages, and like you would expect, and then a full access to the manual. If you were to try to find how things work,
it's like how to get out.
Right,
It's the handle.
Right, the panic things are very intuitive. So
Very
that's roughly it. And then on the left-hand side, you can open and close the trunk and frunk.
Oh yeah.
You've got your wiper settings. These are like homologation relevant settings, the lighting, access, the locking the doors, opening the doors, etc. Oh, and this is also a neat little feature. So we've got different displays that you can check out here.
Oh, that's nice.
Tire pressure monitor, your trip information, or we go into Zen mode, so we don't display anything here. Tones down the informative.
It's really cool that it's touch sensitive, because like a lot of the touch screens are the center, but not up here. So or
it was important
not
to
here.
have a big touch screen that you can then interact with. Once you're parked, maybe there is more that you could do in a touching environment.
I love it. I think it's very intuitive.
Well, we haven't actually spoken about this other than the glass lid here, real glass. And then, of course, you can move your phone charger to inductive phone chargers, multi-position. And you've got a lot of space even under here. And then when we lift this up, check that out, how much space is in there. It's hugely
a couple more
cavernous.
USB-C.
Yep, 2 USB-Cs here, whilst you still have the full wireless charging. You can put your cups here, and the key sits there. USB-Cs are also in the back of the front seats, as well as our table, if you want to pop the table briefly.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite features.
It's super cool. If you pop that, just put the, right, and pull it up. Now you see there are these grooves here, and if you take let me try that. Right, so you can put your phone in here, your iPad goes here, and your laptop sits there. So my kids put their iPad here, or their phones here, and it's super convenient all the time. Of course, lunches work too, but don't put anything that'll mess up your car, because it's too beautiful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the charging power right there.
Right.
So they never get bored or distracted by having to charge elsewhere.
I love it.
We've got USBs in the third row too. So yeah, every seat is premium seating in this car.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, ventilated seats and massaging seats. I'm just going to stay here. You guys can move on, and I'll just be
that
here
was
for the
my
rest of the
fear.
day.
That was my fear.
No, it's actually an excellent massaging seat, excellent ventilated seats. But yeah, again, it's like all these little details that add up, where you're just adding like feature plus feature plus feature, and it just makes it such a great comprehensive experience.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you again. We keep on doing bonus coverage. I think this time it's it.
All right, you should check out the Frunk for sure.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
and then maybe the storage space in the back.
Yeah.
And have you sat in the third row yet?
Yeah, a long time ago we did. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Check it out and then see how much legroom you have, whilst you also have legroom here and there. That's really the test. And I can fit in all 3 rows. I can go up to Lake Tahoe from the Bay Area in the third row. It wouldn't bother me at all. So headroom, legroom, the H30 as the dimension that we call is the hip to the heel. It's very relaxed in that third row, and you don't get that often. Typically, that dimension is compromised quite significantly in order to package stuff underneath, like a big axle or a drive unit or a fuel tank. We didn't compromise that. It's a real great seating experience, even in the third row for full-size adults, not just, hey, send the 10-year-olds or 6-year-olds back there. It's literally, you can put your grandma back there.
I'll just go ahead and say we were getting ready to get out and decided, like we started talking about the door handles and how they're just so intuitive. So it's a micro switch, so it is a power to open the door. But then in an emergency, like if you lose power, accident or whatever, that's where the mechanical switch is. So you don't have to like go hunting for where the mechanical switch.
Right, we wanted it, the entry and exit to feel very intuitive, as you just said. So you touch the door handle and the micro switch immediately flips open the latch. Or if we were ever to lose power to that latch system, you just pull through the same thing that you're used to pulling to get out, and it will operate the Bowden cable mechanical latch mechanism. So it's a safety built-in thing, no need for remembering anything in a panic moment, which is always, you don't want to start thinking then.
You don't want to be in a car crash and like, let me get out the manual and try to figure out how to get out of the car. And since we're, have a couple extra minutes, let's touch base. I mean, in America, Lucid is known for like setting the record, setting the bar for efficiency, charging speeds, like a lot of things. So let's talk about the European numbers. Our audience is American, but we'll use kilometers and we'll use WLTP and we're fine.
Yeah, great. So in Europe, we achieve a range with our Grand Touring battery setup of 748 kilometers in the WLTP cycle, which is really amazing for such a massive vehicle, massive in terms of space inside. It is ultimately designed for lightweight, despite being such a large package of usable space. Then, of course, fast charging is really important when you're on a road trip. Let's say you're going skiing, you've got all the luggage inside, you go up to 748 kilometers on one charge, and you want to go further. Then we can charge it with a 400 kilowatt power, which is also world class. And that gives us 400 kilometers in about 14 minutes. So you go in, take the kids to the restroom, that'll take more than 10 minutes typically. Then you get yourself a coffee and the thing has more than 400 kilometers on top. And then you're typically at your space, or you couldn't bear the length of the drive. Right?
Yeah, and it's like the kids can't do 400 kilometers, so it's like
right in one go.
That's perfect for the European market. So that's really cool. Again, it's like we've been impressed with the Gravity. We actually were at the U.S. debut at the LA Auto Show, so it's really cool to see it debut there, get into production there, in production and debuting here. So very impressive.
Yeah. I think it's also important to say the foundation is obviously exactly the same as in America, right? Our battery technology, our fast charging capabilities. In Europe, we have got a slightly different charging standard. It's a CCS2 standard here. So here all the chargers, or almost all the chargers go up to 1000 volts. So we can take advantage of that. Therefore get to the 400 kilowatt charging power. But there are a couple pockets around Europe where you have only 400 volt chargers, like older generations. And even for that case, we can offer in Europe a boost charging capability just like on the air. So you're never stuck. You can charge at home, 240 volts. You can charge in the old infrastructure at 400 volts. And of course, the new on up to 1000 volts. So it's really versatile, gives you complete freedom of access points on top of already having a very long range.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. Like we have a Mustang Mach-E personally, so we are barely, into we're supposedly a 400 volt system, but it's not even close to that. So very impressive, and I would love to have those type of charging speeds in our car.
Yeah, well, there's always an opportunity to switch.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, thanks again for the second time. That was great to get all of that insight by the people that are behind the design and engineering of the Gravity, as well as, of course, the Lucid Air. I loved all of the knowledge that was shared with us, but very impressed with the Lucid Gravity and very excited to see how it's going to do here in Europe. We're looking forward to getting behind the wheel of one in California to basically give you more in-depth knowledge and information after we have some time with it. I'm really looking forward to that. It's such a great vehicle. Let us know down below, like, what did you think about doing those type of deep dives with the engineers? I think it's fantastic. Let me know your opinion. And if you have any questions about the Gravity that we should go into when we actually get to like play with one for about a week, we hope. We'll see. Anyways, thank you to our Patreon members for supporting us, helping us get over here to Munich. Very costly, but we're making it work. Thank you to the Unbridled, the Engage, and the Whisper members of our patron community. Also, thank you to our YouTube members. You guys are great as well, helping us on a monthly basis. But thank you to everybody for just watching, liking, subscribing, sharing this video everywhere that you can. We appreciate all of you for doing all of that. And as Liv would say, but she's behind the camera so she can't, just remember that whatever you drive, whether it's a little itty bitty car or a nice big 3-row SUV, enjoy the ride.